Body camera video showing the moment a 15-year-old boy comes charging at a San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy holding what authorities say is a gardening tool.
Hey special family, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Autism Mom, and on this channel we talk about autism and everything in between. Today we're doing another fair use reaction video. Let's take a look at the video.
Body camera video showing the moment a 15-year-old boy comes charging at a San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy holding what authorities say is a gardening tool. The video stopping right as the deputy opens fire. That 15-year-old, identified as Ryan Gaynor, is dead.
Ryan is a 15-year-old with autism. Sometimes in order to release stress or if he's a little too worked up, he'll go on a run.
Attorney DeWitt Lacey says that's exactly what happened on Saturday afternoon. That's when Gaynor's sister called 911, saying Gaynor had already attacked his other sister.
Becca, what's in your room? What's in your room, Becca? What's in your room?
Nowhere on the 911 call did we hear family members saying anything to the dispatcher about Ryan's mental state. But one neighbor who spoke with us off camera said deputies had been to the home before.
Here lately, he'd been struggling a little bit with some things, but he was basically a good kid.
This is a special need parent's worst nightmare. That your child is in a meltdown that you as a parent can't control. You can't calm him down. And the extreme happens where you have to call the police who's not properly trained to deal with kids with special needs or autism or kids that are in a meltdown, and the end result becomes this. Now, there are a couple of things that went wrong in this video, and this is just my opinion and my take. When you call 911 for your child that is having a severe meltdown, it is better to call the fire department first, talk to them, or kind of call the crisis hotline and have them come than to call the police. And if you don't have another choice and you have to call the police, make sure that you tell dispatch that you have a son with autism who's in a meltdown and that you want somebody who is qualified and had training to deal with kids with special needs or mental illnesses, that they come out to deal with your child. Because if you don't tell that to the hotline or dispatch, when you call in for a police officer, you will have the regular police officer come, and if he sees a child, in this case, running at him with a garden tool, he is being seen as a threat. Put yourself in the officer's shoes. If you didn't know this is a kid with autism, you're thinking somebody's coming to attack you. Now, did they have to go with a weapon? They could have used a taser or because they heard it was a 15-year-old. I agree on that. But at that point, it really looked like the officer was going to be attacked. Now, I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying from my point of view what it looked like. So, there are a couple of errors that happened. One, when the parents called, they should have told dispatch that this is a 15-year-old boy with autism who is in a severe mental break. He's having a meltdown. That was not done. The regular police came who has no clue about autism or mental break, saw a kid running at them with a garden tool and thought they were being attacked, so they shot him. Parents' worst nightmare. You called for help and your child ended up dead. Now, I'm going to take you to the comment section of this video under the news channel, and I'm going to show you the difference between comment section of somebody that lives autism and comment section of a random news channel that doesn't know what autism is. And that's the difference between somebody that's trained and lives it and somebody who don't have a clue. Let's go to the comment section. The first commenter says, "Man, this is so sad. I have a 17-year-old with autism, a single dad, and so true that people with autism go through emotional issues. That's what we call a meltdown." So what you saw that child going through, that is called a meltdown. Next commenter says, "How is that the deputy's fault? It isn't. Maybe you should have sent a crisis counselor to get a different result." That's another way of looking at it. Someone answer, "Go watch the crisis counselor that got held hostage with a knife, LOL." So yes, crisis counselors also get attacked. And somebody else responded, "So the crisis counselors get attacked with a garden tool? Anybody can get attacked. When a child is in a meltdown, it doesn't matter if you're the police, the guidance counselor, crisis counselor, Jesus Christ, you will get attacked when they're in a meltdown. That's just it. There's nothing you can do. Next commenter says, oh well, parents need to do better. Really? So we need to do better how? If a child with autism is in a meltdown, we can try to redirect as much as we can. Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't. When they're in a meltdown, they are going to be in a meltdown. And there's nothing you can do to change that course until they calm down themselves. We are doing this to teach the outside world that it's not the parents' fault. That's how they're wired. Next commenter says, seems open and shut. Call for violent person and person runs at the officer with a weapon. That's how it seemed on the video. So yes, two parties were at fault here. Next commenter says, the parents should have done better managing them. See, here we go again. It's the parents' fault again. The child has autism. If you don't know what autism is, ask. Let someone explain to you. If you don't know how meltdowns work, ask. And someone will explain it to you. But there's nothing the parent could have done to prevent that meltdown from happening. Someone answered, wow, you in the best comment. What it all boils down to is parenting. That's where it all starts. If it were that easy, huh? So that was under the news channel. Now, a special need mom, I always post some of her stuff, Moments of Joy podcast. She had posted a screenshot of it, and her comment section looked like this. Remember, this is an autism community that she has. So I'm just trying to show you the different opinions of two different groups of people. So in her post, here are the reactions. So this is a lot due to dispatchers. I have first-hand experience with this. I had to call, and when the police and firemen showed up, the firefighter told me that he was glad they showed up first because the dispatch relayed that I was in danger, that my son had a large weapon, and never was that said when calling. See? I share this information solely for educational purposes. When they initially showed up, I was physically hovering over my son shouting, he's autistic, step away. If you can find out from your local fire department if there is an autistic hotline or if the police department has one, and that is made clear over and over and over again that your child is autistic, it's a very scary and sticky situation. My heart breaks for the family. I can't for 2 seconds imagine how they feel. Yeah, put yourself in their shoes. They called for help because they couldn't control the situation, and it ended up causing them their son's life or their brother's life. Next commenter says, what the hell? No, this is preventable. How can we help train the police? Someone answered, the current training is shoot first, and if you think you made a mistake, do not render aid. Let them die. They are fine with this, and they get a paid vacation after courtesy of local and federal tax dollars. Someone else responded, first the parent must be trained, then the police won't have to be called. You can train the parents. You cannot train the parents to stop a meltdown. They can try to derail it or reroute, but they can't stop it once it's already there. Somebody else answered, there are now fortunately lots more programs working with law enforcement on how to engage with people with autism. This is very critical. I also think it's really equally important we teach teenagers not to charge at law enforcement with weapons. Unfortunately, this teen charged at an officer with a shovel swinging towards the officer's head. Charging at law enforcement with a shovel, a bat, a crowbar, or a knife will not end well. It's important kids are taught not to attack officers or grab at their duty belt. These situations are very tragic for everyone involved. She has a point. Next commenter says, as a mom of a black autistic son, this hurts my heart so much. Our children are never seen as children, but a threat by simply existing. Someone else responded, Moments of Joy podcast, this is a reality. We have to prepare them for interactions with not just police, but teachers, peers, and other community members, many of whom will see the threat instead of a human being. That's how your kids are seen. As a threat at that moment instead of a human being. Next commenter says, it is sad if families are calling police for aid. Was that the case? After decades of experiencing mental health awareness and autism, working with my own son, working with organizations, and endless reading on the topic, Calling police can lead to the worst outcome. Even police that may brand themselves being trained in crisis interventions are the most part not trained or experienced when recognizing behavior meltdowns and crises involved with autism or psychosis. Another parent says, from a parent of 3 kids with autism, please, please, please call your local crisis team first before calling the police. And if you must call police, request a mental health trained officer. Most districts have a team similar to hostage negotiators, but specifically for crisis situations like this. But you have to ask for them. So remember, when you call, ask for the local crisis team. I have no words. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this video. What have you learned from the points that I've made? That if you're ever, as a special needs parent, in a situation where you can't control the meltdown and it's out of your hand, how do you place that call? Do not call the police department first. Call your local crisis center. If that doesn't work, call the fire department, explain the situation to them. Your last resort should be the police, and if you call the police, make sure dispatch repeat what you say, that your child has autism and they're in a meltdown, if they can send someone who is trained to deal with kids with autism. For your own safety and for your child's safety. Let me know what you think of this story in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.